contact tracing process. They are conducting all virtual meetings for the rest of the day. But if any of, for instance, the other running backs for the Packers are deemed to be high-risk close contacts, those players would not be permitted to play on Thursday night. Let's also make a point here about the process, because when we talk about the pregame test on Sunday, that is a PCR test for COVID-19. This is something that the NFL and the NFLPA agreed to prior to Week 6. Now, everyone is tested, players, coaches, other Tier 1 and Tier 2 personnel, on a daily basis. But those pregame tests, like all the other PCR tests during the week, take close to 24 hours to come back. That is how A.J. Dillon can play 17 snaps in that game against the Vikings, then find out that he is tested positive. So why doesn't the NFL just turn to those rapid result point of care tests? Well, really, the PCR test detects the virus at the earliest possible point. So that actually may be a quicker way to find out someone is COVID-19 positive. Those tests are also regarded as more reliable than the POC test. So certainly not an ideal situation to have someone test positive and then play in the game. But these are some of the limitations with the way that the testing is set up.
Yeah, and Tom, of course, you have the COVID-19 issues for A.J. Dillon and the Packers backfield. You also have a regular old injury issue. That has been with Aaron Jones. He's been battling a calf injury, did not play in the last 2 games, but seems like he is headed in the right direction. And we will see now, and of course, with A.J. Dillon's status, it now is almost essential. We will see if he's able to recover quick enough to play on Thursday. I know they've been incredibly cautious. The Packers always are. All eyes now on Aaron Jones and what was described initially as a pretty minor calf strain from a couple weeks back.
All right, so this is now very interesting here for the Packers. As you guys have said, they are the road team on Thursday, so they have to get on a plane, fly to Santa Clara, play the 49ers with their running back room and potentially even more, very much in flux. We were supposed to hear from Matt LaFleur. That press conference has been postponed today, at least for now. Ian, there is also a COVID issue here in Baltimore, and we learned of this one, and it involves Marlon Humphrey. He has tested positive when he tweeted himself that he has a positive test. Assume this is much like with Dillon, a PCR test taken before the game on Sunday morning?
That is what this is, although it's worth noting, and it's hard to know what is related here, but at least we should mention it. Marlon Humphrey had symptoms of what they thought was a cold on Wednesday, was able to be practiced Thursday and Friday. At that point, they did not think it was COVID-19 related, played every snap on Sunday, and now test positive. So he is, we will see if he has symptoms right now, how long he's out. Remember, if he does have symptoms, that is 10 days there for Marlon Humphrey. And so what is happening now to the Baltimore Ravens is similar to what's happening to the Steelers, to the Vikings, to the Packers. They're now in the intensive COVID-19 protocols. Changes the way they practice, changes the way, basically how many people wear masks around the building, what they do when they're on the practice field. It gets very, very strict when you have a positive test like the Ravens had.
And the Steelers say right now they are obviously aware, they are vigilant, they have no positive tests that we know of. Both the Steelers and the Ravens right now are scheduled to play games on Sunday. So Marlon Humphrey, we sent him, obviously, our best. Same to A.J. Dillon, as they have tested positive here. The Ravens are also dealing with, ahead of the trade deadline, which I think is notable here as well, a huge injury, Ian, on the offensive line. They lost to the Steelers, and 2 days after they give Ronnie Stanley a massive contract, happy for Ronnie, he got the deal done, they lose their left tackle to a pretty serious ankle injury.
Yeah, very serious ankle injury. Ronnie Stanley, the all-pro left tackle who you mentioned, signed that 5-year deal worth more than $98 million in new money, just a massive deal from a couple days ago. Out for the season with a ankle fracture and a dislocation that also likely includes torn ligaments. A very serious injury. Oh, you're seeing it right there. Not something that is going to prevent him from playing in the 2021 season. Should make a full recovery. This is something players end up being fine with. It is just a long road back, a hard road back for one of the best young players at his position in the NFL.
Yep, and I think everyone had the same reaction yesterday. You feel horrible for Ronnie, and you breathe a sigh of relief here, obviously, that he got his deal done on Friday, pen to paper. Before that devastating injury. Ian, let's go to Chicago. For those who have not seen the fight yesterday, let's show you a little bit of it. And that is Javon Wims, 83, the wide receiver for the Bears, went over to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and just hit him with a combination. I mean, Gardner-Johnson didn't flinch, and Wims hit him twice. He was promptly ejected. Here's what Matt Nagy had to say this morning.
Yeah, I did talk to him today. Again, obviously, out of respect, I'm going to keep that between us and internally. But we did talk to him. I did talk to him, and just regardless of what went on, he knows and understands. He was apologetic and knows that that no matter what, you can't do what he did.
If you want to go back like 10 minutes earlier in real time during that game, Gardner-Johnson is seen ripping Wims' mouthpiece off his helmet. Then he went to the sideline. He stewed about it. He came back, and he hit him twice. Ian, that's going to get him a suspension, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be headed that way. No official word yet from the NFL, though. One thing that I know is that they are considering a suspension. They're considering a suspension for him, and certainly that would be something that would not surprise anyone. And Andrew, we've seen players get ejected this year. None have been suspended. The reason why this is different is because this was outside the whistle. This was outside, really, I mean, it was on the field of play, but it was beyond an actual play. That's why these actions, just a little bit extra with the punch to the helmet. So, I mean, it seems to be suspension worthy. As far as what else happened, that is a matter of debate. You talk to people close to Wims. What they say and what he has told them is that Gardner-Johnson spit on him along with pulling out the mouthpiece. That has not been proven. That is going to be part of his appeal if he gets suspended when he appeals. Obviously, all this will be something that'll be argued in front of and decided by a third party.
Yeah, the spitting thing is